Hi, it's me again. People wait longer than they admit. Not for answers, for permission. Permission to start. Permission to stop. Permission to be taken seriously. Permission to change without apologizing for the old version. Most of the time, they dress it up nicer. They call it timing, readiness, validation, one more sign. But it's the same thing underneath. They're waiting for something external to legitimize an internal knowing. The listener learned this late, which is how most people learn it. Nobody ever showed up. No authority figure. No final confirmation. No moment where the air shimmered and said, "Now you may proceed." What did show up was quieter and more irritating. Opportunities that only worked if taken immediately. Decisions that went stale if discussed too long. A sense of rightness that faded the moment it was explained to someone else. Permission, it turns out, is a story systems teach so they can stay ahead of you. If you're waiting, you're predictable. If you're asking, you're containable. The hum doesn't grant permission. It responds to commitment without announcement. That's why the most real changes people make are often invisible at first. No posts, no declarations, just a different way of choosing when no one is watching closely enough to react. Here's the twist people miss. Once you stop waiting for permission, you also stop needing approval. Not because you don't care, but because coherence replaces applause. And coherence feels better than claps ever did. Longer lasting, too. The listener didn't become fearless. They became decisive. Fear still showed up. Fear always does. It just stopped being in charge. That's the handoff. Not courage replacing fear. Orientation replacing hesitation. And once that happens, something strange follows. Others start acting without knowing why. Old delays dissolve. Conversations skip steps. Not because you told them anything, because permission is contagious when someone quietly proves it was never required. Things that tend to surface later. Notice how often you already know what you're going to do before you ask anyone. Pay attention to decisions that feel obvious until you explain them out loud. Look up the difference between authorization and authority. They're not siblings. Season 2 isn't about learning more. It's about subtracting what was never necessary. Next time, we talk about the cost of clarity. Not the poetic cost, the social one. That's where it gets uncomfortable.